Alright, so The Mandalorian Season 2. Finally watched it, and these are my thoughts. Now, I did do a review of Season 1. You can check out the link in the description below. But we are talking about Season 2 today, so let's get into it. Overall, I didn't have much of an issue with this season. The biggest problem I had, it would be with the lighting. I was hoping it was just a Season 1 issue, but it's also in Season 2, so I gotta talk about it at this point. Scenes that take place in the dark, in the night, or in like a dimly lit room, it's too dim. I'm watching at night, there's no other natural light, I have most of my lights off, and I'm like squinting my eyes, and I'm like, what? That's really... Wait, what happened? And it shouldn't be like that. And I understand certain directors and producers and whatnot, they shoot shows like that on purpose because of budget or time constraints. The Mandalorian does not have budget issues or time constraint issues. I mean, it's probably one of Disney's biggest shows they have. So there's literally no need for it to be that dark or that dim, and yet it is, and it kind of bothers me. They introduced a bunch of new characters in this season, and I really enjoyed it. Bo-Katan is a new one. She's cool. She's got Mandalorian armor with a very interesting color scheme, which I loved. It's like this muted bluish gray color. She and her team that work together are completely badass, and it's just awesome. I loved it. She's also played by Katie Sackhoff. She was in one of my other favorite shows, Longmire, so it was great to see her in something again. So that was kind of cool. She name drops Ahsoka Tano, the Padawan of Anakin Skywalker. When Bo-Katan name drops her, it took a minute to register because of the way she said it, and it sounded to me like she said, "Go to this planet, you'll find a so-called Tano." And I was like, a so-called Tano? What's a Tano? Is this like an alien? Wait, did she mean Ahsoka Tano? So I rewound it, turned on the captions, and that's what she said. I don't know. It was funny. But Ahsoka is in this season. She's not in a bunch of episodes, but she does take a primary focus of one episode, and I liked her character. I found her very interesting for a Jedi. I think she might be what the books refer to as a gray Jedi. Speaking of which, that episode I would say is the darkest episode of the entire series. And I don't mean just visually, but also thematically. There's a lot of more grown-up content, and I don't mean sex.
Sex! Now that I have your attention.
There's some torture, there's actually quite a bit of dread. You feel that this town is being controlled, like you don't want to be there. And that the population inside is really being basically kept prisoner there. It's just much more adult themed compared to the rest of the show, which I wouldn't say the show is exactly family friendly, because the term family friendly all comes down to how you define it. If you consider the show family friendly, I would say this episode kind of took it up a notch or two. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. Also, Ahsoka name drops Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
And when she did, my jaw dropped. I turned to the person next to me and was like, oh. There is no one next to me. Okay. Because I was alone. And I am alone, so...
Oh my god, it was so embarrassing. I was like, oh, I guess I'm a loser. A loser.
Plus, I don't think I'd have any friends who would really get why that was so exciting to me. Thrawn is fascinating and super calculating and a very bad guy, but incredibly interesting. And Timothy Zahn wrote the Thrawn trilogy, or the Heir to the Empire trilogy. It takes place after episode 6. The character of Thrawn is like an officer in the Galactic Empire. He's trying to reignite the Empire and recreate it. If I remember correctly, it's been so long since I've read those books, but it's such a great character, a great adversary. But the fact that they name drop Thrawn means that he exists in this version of Star Wars. Maybe we'll see him at some point. It's definitely set up for that to happen. If they do it right, it could be amazing. So I am really hoping that it wasn't just a little Easter egg, but that it was an actual, like, major hint to us, the fans, saying, hey, get ready, because Thrawn is on the way. So, I don't know. I just got really excited about it. Also, we get introduced to Boba Fett, or Boba Fett, in this season. He is pretty cool. I love that his character is not just a bad guy, and he's not by any means a good guy, but he is not just a villain, and we never really got to see that in the original trilogy. It was kind of just this mysterious bad guy that doesn't say anything and has a jetpack, wears green, and has a very interesting, sort of bizarre looking spaceship, and is responsible for the capture of Han Solo, which is a huge deal. And that's all we ever know about him. A lot of people refer to him as a villain, but when you see this show, it kind of expands on his character, and he's not totally a villain. He's just a bounty hunter who was paid to do his job. Should he have been working with the Empire? No. But in the Star Wars universe, I'm sure there's reasons why you can't just avoid that. So, yeah, I love that. Very, very, very interesting. And he's a total badass. There is a scene where this fight takes place, and all he has is this weird staff/club thing. He takes out these stormtroopers, and the use of practical effects and sound effects in this whole little segment is just amazing. I was constantly in awe, and I remember even saying out loud, wow, that was awesome. And again, why am I saying it out loud? I have no one around me, but it was just that cool. I loved it. I am so glad that he's been introduced into the show, and that he also got his own show, which I will talk about at a later point. We also get a great episode with Bill Burr again, and if you watched my Season 1 review, I talked about how that's my favorite episode of Season 1, was the episode with Bill Burr, and so that must have been lots of people's thoughts because they brought him back for Season 2, and this episode was fantastic too. I love the character development for Bill Burr's character and for the Mandalorian. It's got some emotional moments, it's got some great bonding moments. Overall, that episode was so good, and we get a huge moment with the Mandalorian because he has to take off his mask, which you are not supposed to do if you're a Mandalorian. So, big deal. He does it so he can go and rescue Baby Yoda. I don't like calling him Grogu, so I'm going to call him Baby Yoda. So you actually see this is how important Baby Yoda is to the Mandalorian, that he will break that oath. He decides, you know what, I love this little green bean more than anything else, so I'm going to do what I have to do. And it was just a great moment, and it was a great moment between Bill Burr's character and the Mandalorian's character together. It was just fantastic. Also, there's a great moment with Bill Burr and this Imperial officer. It's so menacing and it's so emotional because you have this Imperial officer basically bragging and gloating about war crimes that he committed, and you can tell Bill Burr is going to lose his shit. And he does, and he just straight up shoots him dead right there.
To the Empire.
A very Han Solo moment, but also very revenge slash justice slash redemption, kind of. It's very interesting. Not saying killing people's okay, but this is Star Wars, this is a fake universe, this is a different set of rules and whatnot, so that guy really did deserve it, though. Bill Burr played the part great, played the emotion perfectly, and it was just a great episode. Again, bring him back at least once a season, because those are like the standout episodes for me, so Disney, if you're watching, just do it.
What are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it!
Moff Gideon is in this season again, a little bit more than in season 1, which was great, because I think his character is very interesting and very menacing and scary. Glad he was in this season. Also, he's creating these Dark Troopers, which is like the perfected droid slash stormtrooper. They're pretty like unbeatable, so it poses a major threat, which I love. We get to see a dark saber, which was very cool, very interesting. It has some kind of power to it. I'm not sure if it's magical or more mythological or more like in your mind, but it's different than a lightsaber, and it has a different power, so very interesting. Also, the Beskar armor is immune to it, more or less, so that was pretty cool too. Overall, this series has better special effects, in my opinion. It felt a lot more like it knew what it was doing, and it knew the direction it was trying to go in, and the pacing just felt better than the first season. And if I had to choose between watching season 1 or season 2 again, it would definitely be season 2. That being said, I am actually going to give season 2 a 7, maybe an 8, just because I know 7s for some reason really bother certain people, and I don't know. You know what, screw you. It's a 7. It's a 7. Okay? I had a nice time with it. I enjoyed it. It was better than the first season, in my opinion, but it was not, like, mind-blowing to me by any means. I'm definitely excited for season 3. I have not watched any of it yet, because I'm kind of waiting for a few episodes to build up so I can watch them all at once. We will see what season 3 brings. I am excited for it, though. Alright, what did you think of season 2? Did you have any favorite moments? Was there anything in the season that you really just didn't like? If you do, or you have any other thoughts and you'd like to put them in the comments below, I would be interested in reading them, and I'm sure other people would be too, so leave a comment. Also, if you'd like this video, and subscribe to my channel if you want to, which also, this is the way, I would appreciate it, so make sure you do that. Alright, thanks for watching. My name is Aaron, and I hope you come back and see me in another video. Goodbye.